In episode 1, I covered the origins of Zionism, not as a concrete ideology, but as a hazy feeling many Jews shared of national longing and return. Then, thanks to and as a reaction against growing nationalism in Europe, it became a concrete idea. The Jews, argued Zionists, were a distinct people entitled to self-determination in their ancestral homeland. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, the subject of this video, the last of my series on Zionism, this idea morphed into an organised mass movement, a concrete political project aimed at establishing a Jewish state in Palestine. But before we begin, if you sign up to my membership, you get early access to next month's video, on top of priority replies to your comments and shoutouts. Check it out, it's only a few dollars or pounds, the price of a cup of coffee. There's a link in the description, as well as a link to the other episodes in this series on Zionism. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss a new upload. In the early 1900s, pogroms in Russia and other antisemitic uprisings were happening, and Jewish migration to Palestine increased. Jewish immigrants built small settlements, schools, and the Hebrew language began a major revival. Around the same time, two distinct sects of political Zionism began to develop. Many of the early settlers belonged to one strand, Labour Zionists. These were left-wing Zionists who created small agricultural communes, or kibbutzim. At the same time, the other, more muscular version of political Zionism was developing, that wanted a state right now, as opposed to the more gradualist Labour Zionism. Revisionist Zionism, this baby of Ze'ev Jabotinsky, was more aggressive, more territorial, expansive, i.e. it wanted more of the land of Palestine for the Jews. The uniquely communitarian values promoted in the kibbutzim were also eschewed in favour of national pride, strong defence, and an immediate Jewish state. But revisionist Zionism was not dominant at this point in time. Instead, most Zionists were Labour Zionists. They favoured this more gradualist approach to getting a state. Back in Europe, Labour Zionists pushed for an international recognition and assent to a Jewish state. In Britain, a Russian Jew named Chaim Weizmann, who belonged to the Labour Zionist movement, lobbied the British government, who owned the region of Palestine at the time. He lobbied them to publicly support the idea of a Jewish state in Palestine, which led to the Balfour Declaration in 1917. This stated the British government's support for the creation of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Around the same time, and partly because of the Balfour Declaration, Jewish immigration to Palestine continued to increase. Zionists steadily expanded both urban and rural settlements in the region, and the Jewish population in Palestine doubled between 1925 and 1933. Zionism as an ideology was growing, but it remained, crucially, a minority position amongst Jews. This situation would soon change dramatically as events were about to unfold that would fundamentally shift the balance in favour of Zionism and the establishment of a Jewish state. But first, if you're finding this episode interesting and want to learn more about the topic, I've included a link to a reading list about the subject in the comments section. Feel free to take a look. If you choose to buy a book, it helps me. I get a small commission, but you don't pay any more. The Holocaust was the systematic murder of 6 million European Jews. Although the Nazis targeted other groups as well, the genocide of the Jews was particularly catastrophic, wiping out around 40% of the world's Jewish population and nearly 2/3 of European Jews. As a result, Jewish migration to Palestine ramped up hugely, and the Jewish population there increased by 400% between 1931 and 1947. For many, the core argument of Zionism, that the Jews could not safely exist as a minority because of constant or sporadic outbursts of oppression, had been tragically confirmed by the Holocaust. Whilst most Jews were not Zionists before the Holocaust, the same could not be said to be true afterwards. Outside the Jewish community, global sympathy surged, especially in the United States. In 1947, the UN voted to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states. For many, the long-held Zionist dream of a Jewish homeland had finally been realised. To avoid controversy, we will leave the story there. Let me know what you thought of the series in the comments section if you want me to look at differing perspectives, different religious histories, or the region more generally. Remember to become a member and you'll get access to next month's video early. Thanks for watching.